I want to talk to you today about maintaining your hulls. It is critical. Depending on what level you race at, it's critical. It'd be kind of like driving an F1 car with bald tires. The hulls are what's in the water, man. And if you want to go fast, like I do, then you want those puppies to be as smooth as possible. Dragging them up the beach without beach dollies or beach wheels, that's not going to work. It's going to scratch the heck out of the bottoms of your boat. If you're just racing at the club, and it's not a big deal, it might work out for you. But generally, if you got a new boat, I mean, I want to take care of my baby. So, yeah, I get beach wheels, and my boat doesn't touch the ground, ever, unless it's grass, and then it's only very carefully. So that's a biggie, all right? So buy whatever you need to, get whatever you have to. But preventative maintenance is the first trick to that. When looking at the hulls, I look for stress fractures, particularly at the mast tangs. Sometimes those bolts at the very bow where the bridle wire connects to, they get loose and they start working, and they will put stress fractures into the fiberglass or the gel coat. So from a hull maintenance perspective, I check those mast tang bolts several times during a season. I make sure I cinch them up good. Ditto with, at the other end of the boat, your rudder gudgeons. You don't want those babies loose, so they typically don't get loose nearly as much as the mast tang bolts do, but definitely check them out. The other will be the shroud, where the shrouds are. And the shrouds come in, they go through the lip of the hull, and there is a long cylindrical bolt, you might say, that's a 1/4 inch diameter that fits up in underneath that lip. And you want to make sure that they're snug. They don't have to be, real tight, but definitely snug. So those are going to be 3 big attachment points. Typically, where the tramp attaches to the pylons, the pylon bolts, I haven't seen those come apart. You tighten them snug, and usually that's enough, but it's probably worth checking. And then if you are seeing stress fractures, you have to determine the little cracks in the gel coat. Usually those cracks are limited to the gel coat. But if they do extend into the fiberglass, then you have a serious issue on board, and you need to address it. How can you tell? I don't know, other than the size of the crack and how deep it looks. Maybe, I guess you could sand off the gel coat, but then you got to re-gel coat it. Mostly it's how extensive things are is what you want to look at. Another thing is on the deck, just forward of the forward pylons. That deck in older boats, particularly like 70s versions, I got a video on how to buy a used Hobie, and that's a big place to look. On a new boat, you're not going to have to worry about that, where they get soft, where the deck will just start kind of waffling, I forget what they call it, but where it's soft and you can press on it, it'll move. Nowadays, Hobie builds those boats solid. As far as periodic maintenance, I wash my holes down, my trampoline down after every use, and particularly after every use in salt water, particularly on the metal. Metal and salt don't go well. You get a lot of corrosion and stuff. But just I wash them down. If I get bird poop or any other little stuff on my holes, I'll take my sailing gloves or sponge, and I'll wash those holes. It's worth doing in the spring if you've been wintering over. And then wash the holes really well with soap and water. And then you can also do it several times during the course of the year. But in terms of maintaining my holes, I wash them every time I use the boat, fresh or salt water. They get used. They get washed, excuse me. That's about the most of it on the home maintenance. In summary, don't drag your boat. Keep it off the ground as much as possible. Check metal fittings that go into the hull, specifically the bow tangs, the rudder gudgeons, and the shrouds, at the shrouds. And then wash and keep those holes clean. You can also look at while you're at it, I forgot, the pylon bolts while you're at it. Wash the holes, keep them clean. And then if you have to repair it, well, that's a whole different matter. And I'm not going to cover that here. So that pretty much wraps up on the hull maintenance.